Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's the off-air show, Felger and Big Jim Murray. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Miller Lite tastes great, and it's less filling. It is both. And when it's off-air show time, it's Miller time. Please enjoy responsibly. You watch a lot of the election last night?
Not 1 minute of it.
No
I figured
way.
I'd get it in the morning. No, my routine last night was head rub for my wife, watch the Bruins. She goes to bed. I rip out the guitar. I throw on Seinfeld reruns.
Really?
Yeah, I figured I didn't feel like getting all, because I knew if I watched it, I'd be up to like 3 a.m. So I was like, no, I got to put myself on like a bit of a regimen here. And I was glad I did. I went to bed at like midnight. So, yeah.
I think it's awesome TV.
Yeah,
I think, John King, I think John King at that Magic board is elite. And I don't even bother. It's gotten to the point the last, maybe I used to snap, flip around to different coverages during the election. I never turned it off at John King because I just think he runs that board. So
he's the master of the board.
I can't imagine Kornacki. I know he gets a lot of pub, does a better job. I don't know who they have on Fox doing it. I used to bounce around, but I just think King is so good at it that, I got that sense too, because at one point they cut to Trump headquarters. And the girl reporter, can't remember her name, says, John, they're just about to, or what, to one of the anchors, they're just about, you're on a 20-second delay here. So your announcement that Trump just carried North Carolina is about to be made here in the hall. And, they're watching. The Trump people are watching.
Oh, they were watching John King in the background?
Yeah, normally the Trump people are not going to watch CNN.
Yeah.
But
he's so good at it. They had it on.
I think so.
That's
yeah.
funny.
I think, that's my guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's fabulous TV. I just think he's so good at it. Like, I just watching that.
Well, it was you're right, Mike. You're right for the ages, because one of the reasons I was like, I'm not doing this because we're going to be in this like malaise for days and we're not going to know, and it's going to be chaos. And it wasn't. You were right. Like you said, either way, whether it was for him or her, you had a feeling this thing was going to be wrapped up in a night, and it was. Like, I was kind of stunned.
I don't think it was going to be regional. I didn't think it was going to be regional. In other words, the pollsters were just missing on one side what it was going to be. And it was going to be something. Either the voting public was going to say they were sick of Trump, or the voting public was going to say we can't elect a liberal Democrat from California, or we're not ready for a woman, or we just don't like her, or whatever. They just missed it. And it was a couple points, it's still only, he won the popular vote, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which is like, that's, it's been a while since that happened. So they missed it by several points, but it still is only several. It's not 10 points. It's like,
the first Republicans is 2004, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling it was going to be like that. And it wouldn't matter whether it was Wisconsin or Pennsylvania or North Carolina. Like, it wasn't a regional thing. It was just, that's what it was. And it was clearly one thing over the other. And you could tell early on because of John King. John King did such a good job going to a specific county in a specific state and showing you last year, meaning last election in 2020, what Joe Biden got. And Joe Biden would be getting, he'd go to a heavily Democratic county, for example, and say Joe Biden is, polled 76% of the vote here. And then he'd go to the early election returns and showed Kamala Harris polling 73%. It's like only 3%, but that's like 1,000 votes. And if you add those 1,000 votes to the other counties, and if that's the trend line across the country, then that 1,000 votes equates to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of votes. And like, I could tell early on, she was in trouble. The fact that Virginia was so close, trouble. Like, I think Biden won it by 10 points or something. And she was behind for a lot of the night in Virginia. It's like, this ain't right.
Bad sign, yeah.
And so I could tell early on, and so could John King, that it was not going to be her night. And so they didn't call till like 5 a.m. Not that I was up for that, but by the time I went to bed between midnight and 1 o'clock,
you kind of knew. He
said, this is going to, and he put up the blue wall, which was a red wall. He's like, this is going to take an inside straight for Kamala Harris. And you could, but I could tell at like by 9 o'clock, like the big results come in starting at 8. By 9, you could just
have a feel.
You could tell.
Yeah.
It was not happening. And so,
did you feel strongly on any of the ballot questions in the state?
Oh, good question. I feel strongly for mushrooms. I am pro mushroom.
Yeah. So I voted yes on that.
I voted no.
No kidding.
I did. And I like mushrooms.
Can I guess why? Because some of my friends, we were, debating this because I was yes, because
to be honest, I didn't think it out well.
Okay.
It was a last minute thing. So I'm admittedly going to say I'm not super educated on it, but go ahead.
So I have fairly libertarian views in terms of I think you should be able to buy whatever you want. So, and also with shrooms, I think they can help people with PTSD dealing with that stuff. I've
Definitely.
seen, so I was like, yes. Some of my friends that were no on it that are pretty or have been pretty open-minded about drug use feel like the weed thing's gone too far. They're like, everywhere I go, I smell weed now. And I can't trust that to not become a slippery slope. And then all of a sudden my Uber driver is like, slow night. I'm going to take some mushrooms. I'm like, that's a bit dramatic. But I will say, and I'm glad that weed is legalized, it's a bit much everywhere now. And again, I imbibe. I like it. You smell it everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of understand why someone who has pretty open-minded views on drug use on this one, they're like, not just yet. So I wasn't that surprised that didn't pass.
So again, I didn't, this is my fault. Would it have led the way to shops and commercial sales?
I think you'd be able to,
licenses. And so there would be mushroom shops like there are weed shops.
I don't think I think it would be sold in dispensaries is the way I understand it. And that's how it's done.
Another product they could sell in dispensaries.
Yeah. Because I believe it's now legalized in Colorado and it's mostly sold through dispensaries or through a head doctor that'll make you a tea and sit with you and have this sort of, shamanic, for lack of a better term, experience or something like that. But I don't think there'd be the mushroom store. I think you would have to go through a dispensary to get it.
Okay. So it's I don't know. I don't need weed shops, mushroom shops, drug store. I don't know. It's just something like that. I think that it shouldn't be, I think it should be decriminalized, whatever that, make it a misdemeanor, not a felony, whatever it is. It shouldn't be something that should get you in a lot of trouble. But I don't need more drug shops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
More commercial sales of drugs. If you want to get mushrooms, it's pretty damn easy to get mushrooms. And they're regulated. They're not government regulated, but I feel pretty safe taking them. I don't feel like they're laced with crap. And it's just, I don't know. I don't feel I need it, but I'm all for mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it was just a stupid vote. I admit it.
No, you vote the way you want. I mean, question 5, I was that was one I'm marching down to the polls. I'm no, because my wife and I eat out all the time, and I have a lot of friends that work in the restaurant industry.
So you tell me again, explain. I passed on that one because I wasn't, that one I felt was too important to. Well, anyway, I'm uninformed on the questions. I admit it. Go ahead.
I'm too influenced by those that work in the restaurant industry that said if that was to pass, that was really going to hurt a lot of restaurants, a lot of small business owners, and it wasn't really going to affect people that live on tips in terms of servers and bartenders that much. Yeah, it would mean a little bit more money for back house staff, and those people certainly should be making more money from the restaurants and places they're working at. But it was going to become too social for my liking and for what I understood from
social meaning socialism.
Yeah. And it was in talking to restaurant friends, servers, bartenders, they were like, please, I beg of you, vote no for this. And then selfishly for my wife and I, we eat out all the time. And so it's pricey enough as it is. I don't need that to be more expensive. So that one I was like, no.
So they would have passed that on to
that definitely goes to the consumer
costs.
Yeah.
And then would that prompt people to tip less?
Oh, I would think so.
I mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I pride myself on 20% no matter what, even if it's shit service. I've been there, I've done it. Knowing the radio industry, I'll be there again. So it's 20% baseline no matter what. That price starts to go up for, other people. You're like, well, fuck you. Now that this bill should have been 80 and now it's 130, you're getting less. Thanks for the good service, but someone's gonna have to pay the price somewhere. So yeah, I definitely think that would have cut into it.
Okay, a lot of people want to talk about Rich and the ZLX show. They don't want us here to talk too much about it. I don't know anything. Again, I'm the worst gossip person ever. I don't know anything about anything. Honestly, so I can't even offer any insight. Not that they don't want us to, even if I did.
Yeah.
But there's nothing for me to really dish on because I don't know anything. The only thing I would say is I'm sorry it didn't work. I feel bad it didn't work. And
that's a crazy short time. Not even 6 months.
Right. So that's a bad sign. As a radio guy, I shouldn't be fucking celebrating that. And I don't celebrate it. And I feel bad. I'm not happy that it didn't work. Now, and I was rooting for him, but not to the point where you're not that I want him taking money or taking ratings away from Fred and Hardy. No, I want Fred and Hardy to win and win dramatically. And, that's obviously what I want. But if Rich had gone there and been a success, whatever that means, that's good for us radio guys. It would make the next guy more marketable.
Yeah, I was under the impression they were probably going to flip it to another sports station, which would have been, great, or in terms of more leverage for someone like you or I, and that didn't happen. I'm surprised. It sucks that happened for those guys. I'm surprised that the brass over there at iHeart, and I don't really know any of them, decided like, we know this isn't working, so we're going to pull the plug. Whereas I'm trying to think of where other times, because I've been around for a lot of this, I listen to a ton of radio. There's only a handful of other times where I feel like I've seen that, and it's been a long time since. So like David Lee Roth, those execs at CBS at the time were like, no, this isn't working.
How long did it last?
Shit. Kelly, was that even a year? No, I think it was 4 months. Yeah. Do you remember Richard Hatch? He was the first winner of Survivor. Mix 104 hired him right after he won that. And like, they're like, let's put Richard Hatch on the air. And he was like a crazy person. And that only worked for X amount of time. Decent enough comedian. I didn't like it, the show, but like Steve Sweeney on ZLX, like I remember the first few days listening to them, I'm like, this is a disaster. Yeah. They pulled that plug pretty quick. You don't see it that much. And usually, and I'm of the belief, if you're going to invest in someone to come over and do a show and do this, you got to give it time to gel. And they just decided like, no, not even 6 months. Like that time of it was crazy. I've never seen, it's been a long time. I shouldn't say never, but it's been a long time since I've seen radio execs say like, nope, this is it, we're out.
So like, as I've said a million times, I want radio and sports radio to be big, beefy, successful as an industry and as a space, and not just us, but everybody, because that's good for everybody. So I wanted Rich to work and that to be successful. So I'm glad. So I'm not glad that it's gone. It's too bad that it's gone. 6 months is kind of scary. Like, that's not really given at the time that it would need.
No. This industry, Jesus Christ.
The thing about, I will say this, like as a programmer, like I think there is room for sports music. I mean, so many of.
What do you mean sports? Oh, like.
Well, so I guess, I fell out of listenership to the show. So I wasn't listening when they made the transition, but they started to play music, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I think so many of these sports shows, our shows, talk music that like, I think there's a show to be done there where the host plays classic rock and talks sports in between the songs. So, those 4 minutes an hour that you talk, instead of it's 4 minutes an hour, make it 12 and make that sports, and then play your Aerosmith song and come back and talk Bruins and then play your whatever, I think there's actually a show there.
Maybe if they started with just music initially too, in terms of like interspersed with what they were doing, maybe it would have worked a little better. I see what you mean. I just think, I think part of what I think even just as a listener, like it had to be pretty jarring. If you're like, ZLX to me is one of those stations that's like, working dude, work site. ZLX, like painters. There's a house that's getting worked on like right behind where I live right now. ZLX is on in the middays because it's like music all the time. It's familiar shit. It's like, working ass dudes. They just want to hear, like I said, Aerosmith or, now Green Day is considered the classic rock because we're a million. That I think that if you were a ZLX P1, like everyday listener, you had to be like, wait, what? And if I want sports, like I'll go to the sports stations for that. So like, no. So, but boy, just like the numbers reflected, like I think that they drove away a lot of those hardcore ZLX people to be like, oh, we're good here. Like you let me know if and when this is over because we'll go to ROR or somewhere else.
Okay. So those are the two items.
Hopefully you're going to get yelled at for talking that in the most benign way possible.
Oh my God, it was so annoying. Ugh. We did, again, I said 4, maybe it was 7 minutes on the election yesterday. Played a couple of clips, Trump, Belichick related.
Well, that was refreshing because again, I'm like, what are we going to, we have this tonight.
God.
There's two major things that we should be talking about.
People get bent out of shape. It's just like so
ask you what
annoying.
Your favorite breakfast bread is. Like, give me a fucking break.
People suck. It's just like, we couldn't just do that. Like it was the most innocuous to poke a little fun at Trump for his answer to Jim Gray or Belichick about how can sports bring people together. I thought it was hysterical. Yeah. Donald, how can sports bring people together? He answered by saying, I'm ahead in all 7 battleground states, and I saved the Super Bowl for Canada and Trudeau, and they never even thanked me. And we just poked a little fun at it because it's funny. And, oh, my God, the crying. It's just so fucking annoying. So that's why we don't talk politics in the first place, because you people can't handle it. People can't handle it. It's just so... It's fuck off. So like that's it. So which I don't even want to read this because I know what sort of bitchy, annoying crap is probably on here.
But what do the people have to say?
Okay.
I'm sure it's nothing good.
Let's see. Fred and Rich. I'm not doing that. We can't do that. And I don't know anything about it. Like,
yeah, right. The inner workings of it, I literally don't know anything about. I mean, and based on what I heard the other day, I think Fred got it all out anyway. So
did Fred?
Oh yeah. It was the next day. It was compelling radio. It was great stuff.
Let's see. Oh yeah, those okay.
Oh yeah, no, these are my Ace Rothstein glasses. Yeah, let's see. I've been called.
When you say Ace Rothstein,
Ace Rothstein at the end of Casino.
Yeah, sure.
These, and he's like, and that's that. Like that's they're very much like that.
Or Mo Green.
Yeah, Mo Green. They're very much Mo Green. Or as someone put the gif of Madam the puppet. That's like very good. It's a bold look. I put an Instagram post up. I paid for these, by the way. They're like, put an ad. Like, no, dickheads. I actually flew to New York and paid for these myself. I wanted to see this guy for a couple of years, get a pair of glasses from him. Got his shirt here, Anthony Aiden. I wanted a bolder look because for me, for most of my life, glasses have been about necessity. I always wanted a pair of glasses that look cool. I like how this looks on me. It works for me. My wife's into it. Bing, bang, boom. There you go. So there you go. There's my
you've always wanted to find a pair of glasses that look cool. So you're still looking.
Very good, I guess.
Kelly got it. There you go. Ronnie says, thoughts on Fox not showing the score ticker during NFL games. Is this true? Did I not notice this?
I haven't noticed this.
Fox doesn't play a score ticker underneath the scoreboard?
No, isn't it up in the left corner? I don't know. I'm like half looking at my phone for scores anyway because they're not updating in real time. I'll tell you, I don't even look for them when I'm watching games anymore. I look at my phone because I'm making my bets and I'm just constantly updating, seeing if certain guys have scored.
CBS does it, where they have where the ball is on the field and they have the the yard line with the little arrow. Can you figure that fucking thing out?
Nope. No.
I can never tell what side of the 50 they're on.
No.
Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me how to read that thing? Like where you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where's the ball?
It looks like a little bird tail.
Yeah. So is it? So I can never tell. I'm like, could you fucking give me? Are they on their own 20? Or are they going in on the other 20? What 30-yard line are they on? How can I tell this? It's so annoying.
Yeah, I mean it's the little sideways triangle, so it's pointed the way it's going. So if it's pointed to the right, they're going left to right, and they're on. But you don't know if it's the opponent's end zone. I see what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Huh.
Right.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Okay. I don't think it's, I can never figure it out. It's really.
But I guess I haven't noticed if they're not putting them on Fox.
I didn't notice either. What can I tell you? Thoughts on Brady? What did he do?
I don't know. Expound on that.
Yeah.
He got in trouble because he criticized the refs.
Did he get in trouble or not get in trouble?
Well, no, I don't know if he got in trouble for it, but the internet tried to, of course, a bunch of rat fucks. We're like, see, he criticized the refs. Now that you're an owner, you can't criticize the refs. I don't know if he got reprimanded for it, but I'm sure he'll get a talking to from the Fox producers and shit like that.
It's a forward arrow. It's toward the opponent's end zone. I get it, but I'm not describing it properly, but you still can't tell. They put it on the you should see the 30, the 20 going that way. It's just, trust me, it's not clear. It's not as simple as that.
Not as precise.
What can I tell? Oh, thoughts on Jason Kelce. I still haven't seen the actual clip.
Oh, this pissed me off. A young bro. He was at Penn State, doing the pregame shit or whatever. He was there for Fox, or wherever he does his stuff for. Drunk a-hole college kid says hey, he's screaming at him hey, Jason, did you know your brother's the worst gay slur for dating Taylor Swift? And he takes the kid's phone and smashes it to Hades, and rightfully so.
So the kid used the gay slur.
Yeah, and then Jason Kelce says back to him who's that word now? Which you knew. And then there was a few things I don't like about this. One, that he apologized in the first place, because I don't think any rational person sees that and is he's not come on, keep it in context. He's not using that in his everyday life. He doesn't call gay people that. For what that kid just did to him, that was 100% justified. And that those suits at ESPN made him sit up there and be well, you got to apologize to make it right. I guess credit to him that he did it, but there was no fucking need for that. The other thing was, what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. That pissed me off enough that he had to apologize for it, because no rational person. Oh, and how it was aggregated online. like TMZ and these like asshole just
Kelce
looking
uses
for
gay slur in
like,
fan interaction.
And no one reads the stories. No one clicks on shit. They just want to see the headline. And the headline is what makes the story. And so, yeah, after that happened, it's like, well.
So he responded to what the kid said. I see.
Jason Kelce, bigot, obviously. No, click on it, watch it, read the story. But TMZ and I get it. This is your business model. You're looking for clicks, but like, it's just so fucking disingenuous. Those two things are what really pissed me off about it. I don't think there was any need whatsoever for him to apologize in that situation, given if you just watched it in context.
Felger, did you really get your man boobs cut off? He asks. So this is the Regenerous commercial.
Yeah.
No, I was not a candidate for that. Thank you for asking. There is a whole suite of services that maybe potentially I could be using at some point. The man boobs thing was not one of them. And it's just another sign of me being a team player, Murray.
Yeah.
They had an agreement with another personality at the hub who said he had to because of a conflict with another endorser, which isn't apples to apples, but okay, he couldn't do it. Maybe he didn't want to do it. And I think they felt the account might have been in jeopardy. And so it's business. Got to do business.
Hey, look.
And listen.
And then to keep the lights on. Yeah.
What's that? Well, I mean, I don't know if that's that, but it's, I was asked to do it. And so I did it.
Yeah.
And it's a service. There's a lot of man boobage out there. I hate to break it to you.
They probably got the M Sculpt too, if you're a little loose.
They have M Sculpt. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes. They have the M Sculpt up there. Yep. And again, a whole suite of services. So who knows? But the man boob thing's for real. Like whether it's what's in our food or something, I think there's never been a bigger man boob problem. I think it's like near epidemic, don't you?
Yes, man boobs are an epidemic in this country.
Like it is. It's an issue out there, even among some borderline fit guys. Like there's just something about it. I don't know why it's all going to the boob, but it seems to be. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. I'm with you, Murray. The kid followed him, was instigating him. F him and his cell phone. Mommy and daddy can buy him a new one.
Well, it's just one of those people are just too fucking comfortable. Like, as it is, like the shit that people talk online anyway. But again, that's online, so it's going to happen. But I mean, that kid was that ballsy to do that. It's like the kid, the guy that talked shit to Tyson within the last few years, and he ended up getting smacked. And then like
Tyson, the guy in the plane?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up on a plane. Just shut up. Shut up. You just sit down and shush, and let's just get where we're going. Shush.
A rational society would not accept any kind of trial, civil action, anything like that against. Some people are too comfortable, and you talk shit, and you get your head caved in, and like you're now gonna get money out of that person that did that to you. Like, no. That stuff bothers me so much.
Speaking of, are we gonna watch the Tyson fight? So is this Tyson and
this is Tyson
the Rich
and
Paul kid? What's his name? Jake Paul?
Jake Paul.
Is he the YouTube fighter?
Yeah. I'm good. I don't.
No, why not?
Yeah, I don't care.
Would you rather watch that or some lightweight battle between two guys you never heard of? That's going to go to 10 rounds and the cards.
No, I suppose just for like curiosity
it's not even
factor.
Close. Give me Tyson, I'm gonna watch this YouTuber.
But Tyson's like near 60.
So?
I know he looks in really good shape.
So
it's on a Saturday night. I'm not wasting my Saturday night watching this. I'll watch the highlights the next day.
You just got to remind me it's on because I'll forget about it. Tyson and some YouTuber.
Yeah.
Over. I do like the heavyweights, and he lost too. Tyson Fury lost, but like Deontay Wilder, who was
Anthony Joshua,
really fit, and Anthony Joshua and Fury. Like I'll watch those fights. I won't make a habit of it or like an appointment to, but if I'm home and it's on, I'll watch the heavyweights. Otherwise, I can't watch these boxing matches. Not enough guys go down. It's annoying. So give me Tyson and some YouTuber any day of the week over any fight that's not Tyson Fury. And
because the way it's been
Usyk who beat him. Go ahead.
The way it's been promoted, and with these Paul brothers, and one of them has actually become like really good in the WWE. It's the other one who I was like, okay, this kid's actually worked his ass off, and he, in terms of his wrestling skills, for that WWE shit, is pretty entertaining. In fact, I texted Jimmy one night. I'm like, is this the YouTube dickhead? Like, he's actually pretty good. But the way I'm like, this is just a ruse. Like Tyson's not going to win. And me and other rational people that like hate these YouTube grifters, like you want to see his head get caved in. It's not going to happen. And Tyson's going to like run out of breath. and like the old man's going to lose in a draw. And so like, I'm good. I'll find out about it the next day.
They're not going to draw. He's going to knock
But
his
in a
ass
just world, it would be like Tyson Burbick.
Josh asks, do you think the NBA uses magnetic rims? Have you ever heard of this?
No, what is it?
Is
it the Topsfield Fair? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Because they're trying to fix the game for one side of it. I don't know. The first I've heard of it. I thought maybe you heard of it.
No, that's new to me.
These people are saying that the Tyson fight is on Netflix and it's for free.
Yes, I do know that. Yeah,
it's Friday the 15th.
When I put on that run of Seinfeld shows last night, it's like the first thing that pops up. It's their two stupid faces being like, "Come watch this nonsense in a couple of Saturdays." I'm good. I'm not doing that on a Saturday night.
I'm in. Felger, did you get Oasis tickets? Not yet. Kind of scoping it out. They've announced the North American dates, right?
Yes, but not here.
New York,
Chicago.
One more, and then Toronto.
Yes.
I'm feeling Toronto. Do you know why?
Why? Poutine?
I feel like New York and Chicago is a shit show of bros and expensive, and if not, they're not going to be mosh pits, but a bunch of big drunken Brits. It's going to be rough down there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where I think in Toronto.
Oh, New York's going to be Britfest.
Oh,
like it's going to
be
that's going to be like hooligans. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to go into some mosh pit and elbow around with some hooligans.
And
okay?
And
I picture Toronto as a bunch of Canadians. I can go and have my way down there.
Yeah, there might be more of a kindness to that Toronto show, and that's at is it the Rogers
Center? So it's also going to be it's a stadium, but it's indoors, which I'm gonna.
Oh, I like that.
So
better.
They should close the roof and give me. I just think you're not gonna see Oasis at a basketball arena, so there's the next best thing, a dome, a football dome. I sort of like the thought of that.
I prefer that. What's the date on that one?
So August 24th and 25th. I think they kick off North America. So it goes Toronto 24th and 25th, Chicago the 28th, one night only. East Rutherford, so MetLife on the 31st and the 1st, and then Pasadena. Rose Bowl?
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of cool.
I like the Rose Bowl. Have you been to the Rose Bowl?
I've just outside of it. I've never seen it. Yeah.
You tailgate, it's on a golf course, and you park on the golf course and like tailgate on the golf course. Oh, it's nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pasadena, the 6th and the 7th.
I'm still I didn't even bother trying to get tickets when they went on sale because I want to see how this plays out. Like, I'm not convinced that those shows are going to make it. That those shows even happen in the first place. Like, let's see. I'd like to pull the trigger on one of them eventually.
They need the money.
Yeah, that's right. You said that Noel got divorced.
Yeah, Noel got divorced. So
those Brits can be a time. There was a contingent at that garbage Noel Gallagher show we went to at MGM. What was that last year? And they're funny, but boy, they get torn. Like, we're gonna get on the piss. And they were like, there's 4 of them in front of my wife and I during garbage, or like she was like talking up to them and they're like, Charlie, honey. Oh, like, oh, these fucking guys. Like, this is.
People have asked where Ted Johnson is going to go after the Rich thing.
I would think he would come back here.
Come on back, TJ. Yeah. Come on back.
I did reach out to, I don't feel like I'm talking out of school. He had the most, like, because I was like, hey man, sorry to hear what happened. He was like, yeah, what are you going to do? Gonna miss the 8-minute commute. I'm like, good, yeah. Tell Jasmine I said hi. I'm like, all right, Ted, cool.
Let's see. All right, one last one. How was Jim's first experience in Franklin?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Franklin, yes.
Franklin, Mass?
Yeah.
You've never been to Franklin, Mass?
I hadn't. Kelly and I were out at, who's producing this, as she normally is, at the Netta Dispensary in Franklin from 2 to 5 last Saturday. It was great. They got a good turnout. I think that they're hoping to we're hoping they'll come back on with us in 2025, but I think that's the last event we were working with them for a while. But good people. I hadn't been to that dispensary before. I've been to the one in Brookline a whole bunch. They were the first one. So when I first had my med card, I'd go there a ton. But at Franklin Dispensary, nice. A lot of nice people showed up. Met some cool people. People brought their dogs, including Kelly. It was a fun time. Franklin. Okay. Thumbs up on Franklin.
There it is. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Are we back next week?
Back next week, yeah. And then I'm here next week, and then
tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Then it gets a little dicey.
Oh yeah. That is Yeah, then it gets wonky around the holidays.
I got to tell you. But anyway, we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.